Hi, this is Stacy Hyde, and welcome back to another episode of Better Financial Health in 15 Minutes or Less. Today I want to talk a little bit more about home buying and the cost of home buying. As you may have heard, the real estate market has slowed down a bit. Houses are staying on the market a little bit longer. You're actually seeing a few more listings, you're seeing some price reductions, and not quite as many bidding wars. So if you're someone who's been in the market either for your first home or for a move-up home, and you're thinking, wow, finally we can do it, I want to make sure that you understand the total cost of owning a home. It's not just the mortgage payment. And your mortgage payment in most cases is going to be part principal. That's what you're paying down on. That's how you build equity. And then you have the interest component. That's certainly gone up quite a bit from where it was last year. And then you have taxes. That's your property taxes. If you live in the Memphis area, you're going to have city taxes, whether that be Memphis, Bartlett, Germantown, and county taxes. So that you want to take those into account. And so some people think, well, my mortgage is less than what I was paying in rent, so I'm stupid not to buy a house. Well, yes and no. Yes, with rent, you're not building any equity, but also when you're renting, you're not responsible for home maintenance, repairs, that sort of thing. So you also have to make sure that you budget for taking care of your yard if you have one, your homeowners association if you're in a condo or something like that. You also have to make sure that you're putting money aside as you go for things that you know are going to wear out. Your roof, your hot water heater, your AC unit, your dishwasher. Those types of things will eventually need to be replaced. If you're in a newer home, it's going to be longer, so you need to set aside less. But particularly if you've bought a house in maybe a trendy neighborhood, and it's trendy because it's maybe an older house and it's in a great location, it's great character, but that character also means that something is more likely to break, so you need to be prepared for that. And then just the cost of buying a home. You've got closing costs. You're going to have to pay for a credit report, for an appraisal, for title insurance, and definitely take the buyer's title insurance. What title insurance does is, you may have heard there's been quite a few scams going on in this area where people get information on homes that, usually it's homes that don't have a mortgage, and they forge the owner's signature to it and sell it to somebody else. And so the problem with that is the penalties are pretty weak. So we're seeing some fraud in that area. But if you bought title insurance when you bought your house and then you pay off your mortgage, that title insurance you will have for as long as you own the home. So that is something to look at. And if you've got older relatives that are not as computer savvy, go on the Register of Deeds website and you can search by address, put it in there, and you can see any deed information. And if something there doesn't look quite right, you may want to check with a friend who's an attorney or a realtor that's more familiar with that, and get them to just make sure that nothing looks fishy there, so that you can catch it early if something does happen. Also a good idea to make sure you keep that closing paperwork, because that's where you're going to find your title policy in those, and who your title policy was issued through in those closing documents. So it is important to understand that buying a home is great. It's nice to have a place that's yours, that you're building equity. Real estate does tend to increase over time. I don't think it's realistic to expect the rate of increase that we've seen over the last couple of years to continue. I think it's going to moderate, but that doesn't mean it's going to be a bad investment. It just means it won't appreciate quite as quickly. The other thing to keep in mind is real estate, to buy and sell it, is expensive. You've got realtor fees, you've got legal fees, closing costs. So it's not as easy as, say, selling a stock or a bond that, you may pay $4.95 for a trade, or you may even get free trades. So there's a lot more costs there, and you have to consider capital gains if you do make money when you sell. So that being said, buying a home can be great. It's a lot of fun. It's the largest purchase that a lot of people will ever make. But it's important to be prepared for not just that monthly payment, but all the other costs surrounding home ownership, so that you don't get caught off guard and get yourself in a ditch to where you can't keep your house. You want to make sure. That's why, if you've listened to my podcast before, you've heard me stress this emergency fund. It's because having that extra cash that is earning, a little bit of interest gives you that ability to withstand these things that break and to take care of them early so that they don't become bigger issues. So that's all I have to say about that. Good luck to you if you're out there looking. Have fun. It is fun to think about what kind of house you want. As you look at size of yards and homes, just remember, the bigger the house, the bigger the yard, the more time it's going to take you for maintenance. So those types of things are a trade-off and something worth considering as you go through your process. Thanks for tuning in. This is Stacy Hyde with another episode of Better Financial Health in 15 minutes or less.